Hi VC, it's Aaron, Mutha Elmer. Today I'm responding to a thread started by Spinz Vinyl. Now that was a new channel to me, but everybody's been doing this thread, and I was actually nominated to do this by Concert Buddy, which Chance, back a couple weeks ago, and then JC, my friend Josh from the Flipside Vinyl community with JC, just a day or two ago. So this is, you're supposed to choose one record per decade, and that's the only record you can have for the rest of your life. And to me, this is the most ridiculous thread ever, because if that was the case and I only had these records, I would just give up listening to music. Because, for example, just this band behind me, I couldn't even pick just one of them. And that's even just one band. So it's just, I don't know. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to start with the 20s and go through the 2022s, and we'll see what I come up with. But, you know, everything pre-60s to me is really low on my priority list. It doesn't really start until the Beatles came in the 60s, where I really got into music, and that's the music that I really love, is that and beyond. Before that, I like it, but it, you know, I would never choose any of those records over dozens or hundreds from the 60s on. So it's kind of a weird exercise of your collection here, but let's get started here. And of course, my first few are going to be mainly blues. And I've got 1928 Sessions from Mississippi John Hurt. That's my 20s record. And this is not a 20s pressing, but it's music from the 20s. From the 1930s, I had to go blues again. And this is The Rough Guide to Charlie Patton, father of the Delta Blues. And all these recordings are in the 30s. There's one or two in the 1929, but it's mainly all just from the 30s, all these recordings. Really cool blues record here. And there's the tracks and the dates on them. Of course, nothing is going to be an original until I get up to like the 60s anyway. So, from the 1940s, another blues. This is Blind Willie McTell, 1940. So this is my 40s contribution. In the 1950s, I got to go jazz because I really don't have much else in the 1950s. And this is Dave Brubeck Quartet with Time Out. Take 5's on here. It's a 1959 release, but I think this is a 60s LP I have of it. Not an original, but an early 60s. Now for the 60s, this is where it started getting tough, and it's like there's hundreds that I couldn't live without. But I'm going to go with the White Album from the Beatles. My favorite Beatles record's a double album, so I get twice the music, and it's just slightly my favorite over Abbey Road, and then Revolver, and you got Magical Mystery Tour and Sgt. Pepper, all those, and Rubber Soul. Those are like all my favorite Beatles records. Help's in there too. And if you go with the American, you got Yesterday and Today, all that, but I'm choosing the White Album. Now from the 70s, I'm not choosing my favorite album from the 70s, but I'm choosing a really good one. Now this is Kiss Alive 2. Now I chose this because it has the 3 live sides, but it also has that great studio side on side 4, which I absolutely love, and I couldn't live without that side of music with Larger Than Life and Rocket Ride and All American Man. So that's my 1970s record. And going from the 70s on, I could have done all just Kiss and Clutch, but I'm only choosing one album per band. So 1980s, there's 1,000 records, but I'm going to go with Holy Diver from Dio. One of my favorite albums of all time, of course, and I never get tired of it, so got to go with the original Holy Diver. From the 1990s, I'm going to go with the Elephant Riders from Clutch, their 3rd record. Awesome album. One of my very favorite albums of all time, of course, and it's my Clutch pick for this. Now for the 2000s, this is an album from 2004. We got Hermano with Dare I Say, my favorite Hermano record. This album blows me away every time I hear it, and it was a VCLT from the great JC, so thank you, Josh. I still can't believe I have it on vinyl. Such a killer record. From the 2010s, I'm going to go with the great Canadian band Diamonds with Never Want to Die. Love this album. I was introduced to this band by watching Frank Landry on Channel 33 RPM back when I was first getting into the VC. I think it was actually before I joined. I actually got this, so I was a viewer for a few years before, like a lot of people. And from the 2020s, there's a few great ones, but I'm going to go with this one. Ace Frehley, Origins, Volume 2, double record, a lot of great cover songs by Ace, and I just love, he's my favorite guitarist, so there's what's on there. So there's my picks for this odd exercise of your record collection. Now I'm going to nominate 3 people to do this as well. And these three people haven't made videos in a while, so it'd be really cool to see them making a video again. You know, even just to make any video and not this one would be cool. So first off, I got to go with Rich Strickler. I really miss seeing his videos, and he's such a great guy, a good friend of mine. It'd be really cool if Rich Strickler would do this. He's got great taste in music too. And then two channels that I really miss and I wish would come back. The first one is Metal Retro Blaze, and she's just so awesome. I loved her style of music, and I miss seeing her videos. And the other one is Chris Rankin, Music Crush. So Chris Rankin is a guy from Australia, very knowledgeable, one of the most knowledgeable metal guys, but he knows everything. Really cool guy, and I really miss seeing his videos as well. So there's my video, and thank you for Chance and for Josh for nominating me for this, and I will see you guys on the next one.